As most people that are listening to this video know, the Ford F-150 is coming to Australia, and today we're seeing which one are we going to use. The off-road, the on-road one without the back seats, or the on-road one with the 5 seats version. We'll start with exterior, to talk about interior, to boot stuff and stuff like that, and we'll end up with our winner and why. Okay, let's start with the exterior of those cars. The front of this car looks a bit like the new Ranger and the new Everest from Ford. And this car itself is like maybe around, I'm pretty sure, 50,000 to 80,000. And the Ranger and Everest are similar, though the Everest is not a pit-up. Let's go to the side. The side of the car is pretty good, and then the red lights, they all fit in perfectly. Let's go to the back. And for the back, it says Ford. That's all we really need to know. Let's go to the other version. Now let's have a look at this car. As I said, this exterior looks the same as the one, and I'm pretty sure. No, the front, the one we talked about is 2010. The one we talked about already is 2017, and the one we haven't talked about is 2022. So we're going to actually focus on the one we haven't talked about, but those two are just like versions. We don't really have the off-road version and the two-door version with the back on to sell yet, so we're just using the older ones. Okay, let's go to the side. The side of this car, well, I've got the bots on, but if you just buy it already, normally it won't have the bots on. This one has the bots on, as I already said, and yeah, it's going to be pretty weird if you just buy it without the bots. So let's go to the back. If you just buy it straight from the shop, it's going to be just like one line and then the back of the car. But as this has the bots there, yeah, let's go to the 2022 one. This is the most important one we'll be looking at today. So let's have a walk around before I actually talk about the car. Okay, this is the front. There's these lights. Let's go to the side. And this is past walk around, so I'm not really talking about the car. I'm going to show you some details. The side has 2 doors, as I said. It's the 4-5-seater. The back, it has this connected light like the carnival, TR carnival. Across the side, it says F-150. And as I said about the doors, it has the lights there though. And we finished our walk around. Okay, this Ford F-150, as I said about the lights, they don't really look like the others, as it doesn't really have this C-shaped light. The new one doesn't have it anymore. Let's go to the side. We don't really have any highlights for the front, but yeah, this is the one we're really looking at. Okay, on the side, this shape, you might think it's familiar to some Rams and Toyota Tundras, Toyota Tacomas, and you'd be really knowing this style if you are American, because the Tundra, Ram, and this car are all from America, and like these big UTs are all best selling in America. I would like to include the Chevrolet Silverado. This car, let's have a look. The back light, as I said, it looks like the new TR Carnival. It has this straight light at the back, and then it has the 2 big parts at the side, and it says F-150 with the 4 guys on the very side. That's pretty unique. Let's go to talk about interior. Okay. First things first. For the interior, these are all F-150, so they're a bit similar. Okay. Let's talk about the front row. They're all the same. The front row, as they're all the same. They have the same size touchscreen, which is 10-inch, and the new one now has a choice between 11 and 10, also 12 if you are the very, very, very high spec. And the other two cars, they have 9 or 10. It's choice still on the high spec or lower specs. And if you're a middle spec, you get a choice, and the higher spec, you get a choice. Okay. In the back row, for only the two cars, you have 5 seats, and they both fit in well perfectly. So that's a good part you want to hear about. Well, that's actually pretty short, but the better going about that. We don't really need about price, as we've just talked about the price already. We have talked about our winner. I don't really think we should have a winner, because like the most important one, and they're all F-150s and stuff like that. And we won't really need about some are newer and some are older, but let's just have a look at their driving stuff and stuff like that. Let's have a look at those stuff, and then we'll talk about the winner. About their sizes, not about their year. Don't think about their year. Just think about what kind of cars they are, like 5-seater road, normal road, 5-seater off-road, 2-seater on-road. Let's have a look. As we'd better do, we're starting with the F-150. Okay, as the engine starts, our car gets wholly around the road. And car turns pretty quickly, and we've decided to take a rest. But even though we just started, okay, we're only parked at the side of the road. The car's still going. See, if you can see, it's gonna be here. So the car just parks here, and here we are. The car stopped here. Let's bring all the cars here before we take them back. The off-road, how do we think about him? He's coming in a very fast moment. This car is pretty fast, and it decides to park at the front. That's where he parks. No, he's not side enough. Okay, let's see what he does. He parks to the very side, and there he is. He's done. Okay, now let's see the last one. Okay, let's see it. Okay, this one has some sound. Then take a rest, and then there's a cross, and then he goes in front and sees he parks there. Okay, all cars are together, all cars. Now let's drive them back in the same order. Okay, this car's onto the track. This car is pretty good. And we forgot really where we were, like the spot we were actually 100% we were. So we're not really going onto the exact same place, but at least it's taking its best turn and onto there. Okay, let's go to the other. This car is going to take its ride. Its drive, I meant. And it is super fast that it just takes the lead. And last car is on the track. Here it is. It's onto the track. It's reversing all the way, and it's here. And then it just starts its engine and pulls back and does the pull back. Well, even though it's not the pull back, it just goes to where it was, and see there, it just turns right over the corner and into the hole. How was that? Okay, let's go to the front of the tart and see what's on. Okay, what size is going to be suitable for all families? We know that the one with 5 liters will suit nearly all families, but workers, you have to think about them. But if you're a worker, the 2-seat with the big boot might help you. But if you're a family, think about the off-road and the not off-road one. Well, most people only buy the regular off-road version if there's no choice. But if there's on-road ones, they only have 2-door ones. They either think because they only do that because of that, or because if they need to have to do off-roading or like to do that for fun, or do it in a race. But if you like a normal family, don't like off-roading, don't do races, just want a car that's suitable for your family, and you want the Ford F-150, or like a pickup truck. If you want a pickup truck, most people are looking at both of the pickup truck now, because the F-150 is all new, and the Ford Ranger just a new one. So, to tell you for my opinion, the 2022 one, which I told you like the road one, is the best. I didn't think that because it was 2022, but it's suitable for all families. And second place comes the off-road, and then third place is that car, because that car, most people only buy that car for work, or because they work and they need cars like that. And that's best Ford F-150 of the year. That's not something we have to do, but just for the end of the year, it's near Christmas, so we'll show you what's the best F-150 for 2023 for you to buy, even though it's still in December. Have a good time at Christmas. Press like, press subscribe, add a happy comment, or maybe even a happy Christmas comment for our videos. And that's all. And also the notification, don't forget that part. And bye. See you next time. Ford F-150. 3, 2, 1. The video is going to end.